Hello and welcome to Steve's Vintage Model Builds. Here today, we're going to do a couple little things here, a bit of show and tell and a small kit review. So anyways, I put this together over a few days, over the last weekend or so. And, you know, when you buy Tamiya kits especially, you often get lots of figures that you don't necessarily want to use at the time. So anyways, I had a few of these extra figures, so I figured, that I'd build a little vignette here. So here it is. I'm pretty happy with it. This guy's not glued down. A little bit of touch up to do. Let me just raise this up a bit. Okay, so that's a little better look at it. And I'm very pleased with it overall. So there it is. This was some, what do you call it? Clump foliage. Most hobby stores have it. It's usually like for model railroads and stuff. And then I used a combination of, actually it was mostly sawdust, and then just painted with I think it's Spanish moss green, and I used like a khaki kind of desert brown color as well. So I think it turned out pretty good, and it was a lot of fun. So there you go. There it is. Da, 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 da. Yeah, great fun. Okay, so here we are back again. Sorry about that. So yeah, going to review this kit today. The Airfix Vintage Classic Bristol Bloodhound. They have it as 176 scale. It is 172 scale. It was first tooled well, the only tooling was in 1960, which was about 2 years after the missile was first deployed. So I guess this is a Mark 1, although it doesn't say. You get one Airfix Club Flying Hour. It's kit number A02309 V like Victor. And I think in the UK, I think you can probably get this for, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 pounds. That's about what it's worth. Yeah, even better to get it from the bargain bin, a little cheaper than that, maybe between 8 and 10 pounds. But anyways, as Peter Oxley said, I'm a bargain hunter. This wasn't a particular bargain, but it was on sale. I had seen it before, but wasn't willing to pay the price that they wanted for it. So it's so we've got the it comes with a Land Rover, it comes with the missile transporter and the missile base as well. So I mean, for that price, that's a fair little bit you get. Now we'll see as we go along, but and then here you can see on the side they show you exactly what you're going to get, and you can have the missile on the launcher, or you can have it on the truck or trailer, with transporter, whatever. And then you get the 3 figures and a doggy. The doggy is not a bloodhound, but it served that function. They had the dogs and the military police going around patrolling the whole area, making sure nobody could sneak up and do something. So yeah. All right, so it's not a big kit, and it's fairly straightforward. So I thought I'd spend a little time, as I like to do, on history. History time, yay! Everybody loves history time, right? We all love history time, right? Yeah. So, the Bristol Bloodhound was first developed in about 1958. I think it was first deployed in 1958. The Bloodhound Mark One, and it's roughly equivalent to the Nike Hercules missile in the United States. Although the Bloodhound had better radar through most of the 50s and 60s. The British had the best radar, better than the Americans was good. They did things a little differently. They also learned a lot from the British. I mean, it was the British who taught them about radar and everything, and then they went their own directions. So, but yeah, so the Bloodhound, like the slightly different role than the Nike missile. For the UK, the Bloodhound was designed kind of as a last line of defense for any Russian bombers or Eastern Bloc bombers. Well, Russian bombers, call a spade a spade. For any Russian bombers that got through the Lightning, the English Electric Lightning interceptors. So the Lightning interceptors would go up, hopefully over Europe, and deal with them either before or at the Channel. But if any got through, then the Bloodhounds were there to take care of them. It used a continuous wave semi-active radar homing system, which was very advanced for the time, and it was particularly good. It had excellent performance against electronic countermeasures, and it was also performed much better at lower altitudes. As you know, with radar, even with ground radar, get to a certain level, and it's all, they call it grass. That's what they used to call it. I don't know what they call it now, but yeah. So you used to, when you're going in for an attack, you fly at your optimum altitude, and then once you got close, you drop down into the grass and go that way. So, anyways, it was made by the Bristol Aircraft Company, and there were almost 800 built. I don't think there were ever any actually deployed. They were nuclear capable, but they weren't ever deployed with nuclear tipped missiles. They were just proximity high explosive bursts, hoping to knock the Russian bombers out of the air. So yeah, so it was the last line of defense against the V bomber, or to protect the V bomber bases, so that British nuclear bombers could get up and counterattack. So anyways, at the time, they had the Bloodhound program had two stages, and the first was the Mark One, which was going to be for shorter ranges, and then there was going to be a longer range missile, which was codenamed Blue Envoy, and it was meant it was meant for much greater distances, but that was canceled in 1957. But although parts of its design went into the Mark II. which doubled the range of the Mark II missile. And those were first deployed in about 1964. And it was also selected for the interceptor missile in the Violet Friend anti-ballistic missile system, although that was ultimately canceled when they realized that, yeah, couldn't do much about those missiles. Yeah, they're on their way. All you can do is get up there and fight back. Yeah. So anyways, it had a good long service history. The Mark II from 1964, I believe the last one was decommissioned by the British in January 1991, after the Soviet Union collapsed. It was realized that they weren't needed anymore. So, and then they were replaced by the Rapier system, which of course had a somewhat different, what do you call it? Come on, Steve. Much different battlefield characteristics. That's what I mean to say. So, but yeah, I mean, that started to come in '71, and then the Bloodhounds were gradually phased out. Switzerland continued to use them until about '99, and the British always used them as on fixed positions. Although, as you can see, they're semi-mobile. So what you could do is you could have different positions, and you could deploy them depending on whatever. But basically, they're like it would have been like you see here. Where they'd be deployed in batteries of 4 or 6, and then of course there'd also be a radar installation as well. So yeah, I mean, it's a testament to how good a missile it was, that it lasted almost 30 years, especially since the technology and computer advancements of the 60s, 70s, 80s. Well, I expect the radar and computer systems were updated, but the missile itself was pretty much the same. Excuse me. It was a 2-engine ramjet with 4 solid rocket fuel boosters. And again, it was designed to get up there fast and blow stuff out of the sky. So, although this did have a fair range, 52 kilometers. So, that would have pretty much been blowing them up as they got to the channel. So, anyways, thankfully, it was never needed to be deployed in anger, which is good. Okay, so let's take a look inside. Now, again, I'm very familiar, and many of you out there will be familiar with the vintage classics. Airfix is honest about it, which is good. Some companies aren't. So you have a good idea that this is a pretty old kit. And yeah, that brings us back to the 172, 176. Sometime in the early 70s. I'm not sure if it was because of competition with Matchbox or what. But they took a bunch of 72 kits and labeled them as 76. I guess hoping to appeal to the 00 scale railroady types. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way at all. But I guess they figured, I don't know what they figured. I guess they figured that kids would fall for it and they wouldn't care. So, yeah, there you go. And really, for the most part, they didn't. Why 176 is 176 is O gauge? I don't know about that. All I know is that for 176, it's 4 millimeters to the inch. No, 4 millimeters to the foot. Whereas, of course, with 172, it's 1 inch to the foot. That doesn't sound right. No, 1 inch is 6 feet, whereas 4 millimeters is 1 foot. But anyways, why they didn't? Anyways, I give up. Oh, and they label this skill level 2. Most of that skill, I think, will probably be in removing flash and trimming and sanding. There are no decals in this set. There were no decals on the original. They were either green or white and yellow, like we see there. Okay, and yeah, it is a true vintage classic. So we've got one sprue bag here, jambalaya. Nice top opening box though. That's important to a lot of people. And we have just a very brief blurb is all you could call it. Forming a vital component of Britain's post-war integrated air defense protection during the Cold War era, the Bristol Bloodhound surface-to-air radar-guided missile system was intended to protect the integrity of Britain's V-bomber nuclear deterrent force from hostile air attack. Excuse me. System saw service from 1958 until 1991, and that's for the British. As I said, it was used by 4 other countries as well, other NATO countries, and Sweden actually had kind of a semi-mobile. I don't know whether it was on rail car or what, but okay, so let's see. Okay, and yeah, this is pretty much what you get. This is almost broken off. There's probably some other pieces. This one's bent. But usually all the pieces are there. You can see there's some flash here. See that there? And this looks to be part of the trailer, the tractor transporter. Or the trailer transporter. Likewise here's the frame for the Land Rover, I guess. And more parts for the trailer. Here are our figures, and I don't know if I can show the detail here, but there's seams here that are going to have to be cleaned up quite a bit. But there's nice detail on the doggy, and he looks like a nice dog. Yeah. So I think there's 2 technicians and what's supposed to be a military policeman. These guys are all the same. And they all look like they're holding the dog on the leash. So I'll have to figure out what to do about that. But yeah, I mean, if you, yeah, and they're on the, I hate it when they do that. Anyways, it was for kids to play with. Half the fun was setting it up, right? Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, there was supposed to be like a technician, a military policeman, and yeah, I guess two technicians and a military policeman with the dog. But anyways, we don't have that. That's the way it goes. From the reviews that I saw, the Land Rover is pretty clunky, although there is nice contour here for the sides and on the roof. Again, you get some nice contour. There's a ejection pin mark that's gone through there, but that'll probably fill in just with primer. Oh, now here we go. There's one of those little pieces broke off, and here's the back of the Land Rover. And here we have, looks like a military policeman and an officer, along with the missile. So as you can see, it's not going to be a complicated build, although from what I understand, and we'll see from the instructions, I'm sure, if I wanted just for fun to put a couple of rondelles on there, I'm sure I could find a couple that are small enough. 172s from something or something else. That's one thing about the vintage classics. You usually don't get decals of any sort. But as you can see here, there were no decals. So unlike the 140 Nike missile, the Americans, they're all flash, eh? Yeah, this is a 140 from Atlantis, and this is a nice little kit. If you have a chance to get this at a reasonable price, it's well worth it. And it builds up nicely, and it comes with a platform. It goes up and down. Has some figures with it. Very nice kit. And here's the launch platform. So as you can see, it builds up pretty nice. Yeah. And then we've got the la-da-da. Everybody likes the moving parts. I had a lot of fun building that. It's some tricky spots, but it was fun. Okay, so let's look at these, I'm sure, highly complex instructions. And okay, so we get no complaints about Airfix instructions. They read everything, and here's the glossary, or the you know what I'm talking about, the symbol guide. And we start right in assembling the missile, and then the solid rocket boosters, which is suggested that you paint before you put them on. Likewise with the body of the missile itself. Did I say 2 ramjets? Yeah, it's 2 ramjets. 2 British ramjets. Yeah. And then there's the assembly of the Land Rover. There's really not much to it. It's nice to have like the 3 subjects plus the figures, but it's not meant to be like a super complicated kit. And then here we have the base. We've got the Land Rover, and then we've got the base. And this can be made so it can go up and down. See, they're telling you don't glue, don't glue, don't glue. And then we've got the trailer assembly, and the same thing here. So what would happen is the missile would be on here, this would be down flat, and the trailer would be backed in so they could slide under here and then drop the missile down, and then of course they would secure it. So yeah, and then they give you the paint guide, Humbrol paints, and yeah, so there it is. It's that's all there is to it. So that too will build up into a nice little diorama, I expect. And I'm working on the Humber. There's the base. I got that done up. I'll work a bit on Oh, funny story. Stupid Kev. Okay, so here's the Zero. The M2 that I've been working on. Where are we going here? So I was really careful about this, and I'm very pleased with the way the pilot and the cockpits turned out. And I put it carefully away in one of my little tins here so it didn't get damaged. And then I got all excited and I assembled it here. And as you can see, I puttied this up, and I sanded these little bits so they're all even and everything looks good. And glued it together, set it overnight. And I woke up in the middle of the night last night and I realized the cockpit tub has to go in from underneath. Steve, you idiot! You idiot! And I was so pleased. Anyways, I had done such a good job on the seams that it was no big deal to take them apart. And so just a little bit more putty's in there, and we'll be moving along with that build as well. Okay, so that's it for today, and not too long, about 30 minutes this time. Excuse me. For those of you who've made it through to the end, please do go visit Peter Oxley's channels. There's Peter Oxley's Modeling Lab and Peter Goes Rogue. He's got lots of interesting material. He does great kit reviews, and he actually, ICM sends him kits to review. And he's built a very good relationship with Valeria and the staff over there, who recently endured a missile attack on the factory. Excuse me. I guess it was a while ago, but they kept quiet about it. Anyways, so yeah, everybody was okay. They were in their shelters at the time, and everybody was okay. But a lot of their display area and some of the storage area got hit. And so and it damaged a lot of their packaging, a lot of their boxes. If you know ICM, you know they have those beautiful sturdy cardboard boxes, and then the tops that slide over. Um, and anyways, so but undaunted and absolutely brilliant, what they have decided to do is they're just gonna ship stuff out in those damaged boxes as damaged in a Russian missile attack. They're going to put special stickers on them, and they're going to be going out to hobby shops soon. I guess they have to go through everything, figure out what's usable and what's not usable. So watch for that too. I mean, that would be pretty cool to have a kit that come in a box that was, you know, damaged in a Russian missile attack. So I'm not going to say anything more about Ukraine. They're fighting hard, and all power to them. And it's just an impossible situation. And the only way Putin will stop is if, well, I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube, but um, it's either going to have to stop the way it did in 1917, or people are going to have to take matters into their own hands and get rid of them. Um, you can take that however you want it. But he won't stop. He won't give up. He won't retreat. Um, so the only other alternative is to go down in the bunker, as others just like him have in the past. Or maybe he'll be found in a sewer pipe. You never know. Anyways, same fate, we hope. Okay, so yeah, so that's it for today. Oh, and I should say, well, yeah, I mean, I paid about $28 for this Canadian. So I wouldn't want to pay more than that for it. As far as the rating is concerned, I use a 12-point system, and it's 2 points for the packaging. What is it? I've done it so much and I still don't remember. Story of my life. Post heart attack. Okay, 2 points for packaging, 2 points for the sprues, 3 points for the parts, and 3 points for the instructions, and that is up to. Each of those categories can get a 1/4 point bonus for any wow factors, and then I also allow for up to 1 full point for what I call value. And the way I look at that is, $28. Okay, so if I get 5 hours out of it, that's $6 an hour, and difficult to get entertainment for that. So, okay, so for the packaging, it's a nice box. It's the original box art. I believe it was from Roy Cross. And it is labeled Vintage Classics, so they're not trying to pull any kind of wool over your eyes. It came in an Amazon brown envelope. There's a little bit of a something here, but then again, it is what it is. This isn't the kind of thing that's going to go up on the wall. And it didn't come with just stickers stuck all over it, which is a bonus there. So packaging gets a 2 full points. Oh, and the instead of the side open box, the top open box. That's always good. People seem to like that. For the sprues, yeah, they were complete. There was flash. There was that one troublesome ejection pin marks. So I think I'm going to have to go 1.5 on that. As for the parts, the quality of plastic was pretty good. I mean, it's not whatever, but detail was okay. Nothing beyond what you'd expect. There were no broken parts and no decals. All the other parts, even though it might have been detached from the rack, everything seemed to be there and in good shape. So yeah, that's 2.75 there. So we had 3.5, that's 4.25, 6.25. Instructions are very basic, they're clear, and nothing to complain about. They're laid out all right, everything's simple. Um, I'm not going to ding them because they're so simple and because it is what it is. So they get a full 3 points for that. So that comes to 9.25, and I'm going to give it a 1/4 point bonus for value. It's pretty good value for what I paid for it. Like I said, if you see it in the bargain bin at your local hobby shop or wherever you get your stuff, estate sales, um, you know, 7, 8 pounds you might be looking at. So, anyways, so yeah, so that's a lot of fun. So yeah, I mean, for a kit like this, tooled in 1960, yeah, 9.5. So out of 12. Not shameful, but not spectacular either. All right, so again, that's it for today, and there'll be some more stuff coming down the line, and I will be a little more active than I have been in the past few months. Whether people think that's a good thing or not, I guess I can't help that much. All right, so take it easy. Yeah, don't forget to visit Peter's channel there. Bye now.